It's time to start some rumors. I think I might have to play this on Saturday.
There you go. Oh, that's a good idea. That's
right. I might actually just have to play like one of our themes on on the thing on Saturday, right? So
Belarus may get upset, but that's fine.
I mean, Belarus isn't going to get mad at us when we're doing a show.
From Belarus to Madeira, DC Studios might have egg or clay on its face. First, Sergeant Rock has bit the dust. We'll talk more about that in a minute.
Right.
And now, Clayface, one of the more interesting entries in James Gunn's DCU, is headed back to square one. Horror director James Watkins was tapped to bring Clayface to life, but a script written by Mike Flanagan. But now we're hearing the project may not be as far along as we hoped. We talked about it before that it was like immediately greenlit, immediately being written and whatnot. But I guess Mike Flanagan only wrote a skeleton script, so just pretty much an outline for the movie. But then he shifted because he got the Stephen King's Carrie series. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he has to write that now. So he's kind of said, peace out, DC. I got that Stephen King money. So what's all that mean? That means Clayface is reportedly undergoing a full page one rewrite, which is industry speak for they're starting over.
From scratch.
So talk is on the table. Is DC in a crisis already?
I don't think they are. Not with this. My tacos are off the table if that's the case. And the reason is because there's a couple of different projects that they've been kind of like trying to like figure out and everything like that. But they have like held their guns on this Clayface movie. So it feels like this skeleton that they have put together is good enough that they're like, okay, well, if we can flesh out the rest of this movie can be really good. And depending on what version of Clayface that they are basing it on, there are versions of Clayface in the comics that are like, this is full on horror movie, so like, and I know James Gunn is trying to go the route of Marvel with putting different genre and different like kind of just different tones within DC in order to create a more kind of like built world. So doing a horror corner with Clayface, I think would be amazing.
I hope they still do it. That's all. I understand they may have to pull back a little bit, but I hope they continue with the project because it just sounds interesting and it'd be such a new take on what the DCU has to offer. So
right.
All right.
Well, let's go ahead and move on here. The next story that we've got going on, I got a strange feeling about. It's really got me feeling a little weird. Will Poulter from Midsummer, Dope Sick, The Bear, Death of the Unicorn, he made his Marvel debut in James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as Adam Warlock. Now the rumors are circulating that Poulter would reunite with James Gunn and make his DCU debut in a show or movie, first before headlining a Adam Strange series for Max. It's kind of funny. He's going from Adam Warlock to Adam Strange. Ladies and gentlemen, tacos on the table. He's no doctor, but do you think this rumor is strange?
I think there is going to be a little bit of an exodus from Marvel over to DC with James Gunn spearheading things. People that he's worked with, just like this, just like Will Poulter. I think we're going to get some more Guardians that are going to come over. We talked about, Sean Gunn earlier in the show, but just like he's going from Marvel over to DC, I think Will Poulter is going to be jumping over. So tacos on the table. Absolutely. Will Poulter will be Adam Strange.
Yeah, I agree. Will Poulter makes sense to move over, but like you're saying, I think a lot of actors are going to find their way into DC, knowing the work that James Gunn does, knowing how dedicated to the comics he is. I see a lot of actors kind of doing double duty, and like some are probably going to stay in Marvel, but then also do another character in DC. So It'll be interesting to see kind of where the route goes with all that.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Next one. Death comes for us all. Even back to the MCU, a new rumor is floating around saying that Aubrey Plaza, your girl, Aubrey,
My girl Aubrey Plaza.
isn't done with the MCU. The actress appeared in the Disney Plus series Agatha all along as Rio Vidal, who later became Lady Death. The rumor is Plaza could return in a follow-up series involving Agatha and Billy. Interesting.
Mhm.
But Marvel Studios has also started filming Vision Quest, a series centered on Vision, since Billy and Tommy are Vision's sons in MCU canon. A crossover or Death's reappearance in the storyline remains possible. Tacos on the table. Is Marvel on a quest to have more Death in the MCU?
I absolutely do believe that. I mean, you wouldn't cast Aubrey Plaza as Lady Death because she's kind of like, I mean, she's had a steady career, but she's kind of on an uptick with some of the projects that she's done recently.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, Lady Death is a massive character in the comics, so it makes sense to bring her back, especially in reference or like in proximity to Billy and his brother, and specifically, I want to see the involvement between her and Scarlet Witch. So it'll be interesting to see where she fits into all this.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Tacos on the table. You don't bring on Aubrey Plaza to
Right.
just have her in one series and be done with it. They got plans, whether it's phase 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's gonna find her way back. Same thing with Catherine Hahn. They're gonna find a way to bring them back,
Right.
Sorry, Jeremy Renner, but Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn are what people are asking for. But we'll talk more, Jeremy.
We'll talk about Jeremy Renner in a little bit here. So in X news, moving on from here, X news that just makes me all giddy. Or I guess you know what? This is where we change this to. I feel just like a little girl news.
I feel just like a little girl.
Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds is already brainstorming a new Marvel Studios project, and it won't be a traditional Deadpool movie. The initial report said that Ryan Reynolds is developing a film where Deadpool would team up with 3 or 4 X-Men characters. Notably, this movie is not connected to the X-Men reboot, so the rumor is that it could be an X-Force movie. X-Force has always been the darker, messier counterpart to the traditional X-Men, the Black Ops or Outcast team of mutants. So Tacos on the table. It was just Cinco de Mayo. Will Ryan Reynolds DoorDash as the Deadpool X-Force chimichanga combo plate?
I honestly think so. These movies have made so much money, and they did such a good job introducing him into the Disney official MCU version of Marvel. No way they're gonna stop this franchise. No way. They're gonna find a way to make it happen. And I think having it kind of keeping it sort of adjacent to the MCU works better.
Yeah.
They can make all the connections they want to do, but Marvel doesn't have to worry about what Deadpool's doing over here in some weird corner of the universe. It's just let him be Deadpool, and that's fine.
Right. I mean, he's already said that he doesn't believe that he's going to be an Avenger. You're not going to get a lot of that just because he feels like that's the end of Deadpool's when you make him an Avenger.
Right.
So yeah, I do see Marvel saying, "Oh, let's let Ryan do whatever the hell he wants. The guy makes money. Like he just prints money when it comes to Deadpool and these characters and everything like that." I would love to see them just say just let Deadpool be in his own universe, and now that you can play with all the toys, just let him play with whatever toys he wants.
Yeah. Let him play over in the corner. He's fine. He's
right.
fine.
Yeah. So yeah, tacos on the table for that.
But speaking of the MCU, Doctor Doom is a magnet for some mayhem in the MCU. This one's fun.
That's pretty funny.
Marvel Avengers Doomsday is officially in production, and while Marvel Studios is keeping most details Under wraps, a new report is sure to get fans excited. The rumor suggests a fight sequence is currently in development between Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom and Sir Ian McKellen's Magneto. I didn't know we needed this, but now that they said it, I need
this.
You can see, this is going to be amazing. The scene is reportedly set in the iconic X Mansion, which is said to be under attack. There is no leaked photos, but it's hard to imagine that the cinematic clash will be epic. Oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Avengers Doomsday is set to be released on May 1st, 2026. Tacos on the table. Are senior citizens fighting going to save or destroy the MCU?
Yes, senior citizens are going to be fighting. Magneto's going to break a hip and then still use his powers to just throw Doctor Doom across the room.
Yeah.
So
The hip.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is Sir Ian McKellen's portrayal of Magneto has a lot of gravitas to it. So I think it's going to be a masterclass of acting more than anything. And that fight scene, I'm sure they're going to have to use a lot of CG to make Ian McKellen look, not old anymore.
Not old.
Sorry, I'm not trying to shit on Ian McKellen, but he is a little bit older now.
He's a lot a bit older. I mean, he was old 20 years ago when the X-Men movies came out. All right, but yeah, tacos on the table for that one. I want to see that one.
Absolutely. So that is it for rumors for the week here, ladies and gentlemen. We will be posting everything online and whatnot. So if you're more interested in checking out some of the stories, just follow us as it is, and you'll see more from us.